Hi guys, Sarah the Northwoods Stitcher here. No, this does not mean that I'm going to be showing you some bunnies or snuggling with bunnies. It means I was too lazy to do my hair today and I really felt like staying in my pajamas. I am pajamaed on the bottom half. But we had a really weird ice storm last night and it was really, really vicious because everything was totally encased in ice this morning. And I feared for my dog's bones when she went out and skidded around and tried to do her business this morning. It's kind of melting. There were rivers pouring down the tree trunks a little while ago. So it's warmed up a bit. We didn't lose any trees, thank heavens. She's downstairs listening to relaxation music for dogs. I did my floss tubes this morning, did some stitching, but I thought I'd come on and talk to you guys about some stuff and show you some things. Did I bring anything up? I did bring some stuff up. I have to get to my little list here. I need to be better organized than I have in the past. I have a little bucket of stuff next to me, and I pulled out my bucket of Easter, Valentine, St. Patty's Day decorations. I haven't taken down my Christmas tree yet, so I'm not going to take that downstairs because I think that would just upset my husband if he sees more coming down before more goes up. I don't know if I'll put my tree up or not this year. I think I just want to concentrate on making more decorations rather than put the tree up and only have part of the things done that I want to get done. It's a very cold and wet winter, more rain than snow, but I think that means I'll just stitch more, which is probably a good thing. So, got some stuff to show you guys. Show you guys. I did a finish. I think I showed you guys in the last floss tube this little primrose cottage, Christmas trees and stitching please. I wanted to kit this up for a while and I kept seeing it on floss tubes and I thought that's adorable. Yeah, it is. So I finished it. This is a unknown Joblin. I don't know what count it was. But it was fun to do, and it was a quick stitch. I want to say I started it on Saturday. Finished it yesterday? I think I finished it yesterday. No. 3 days. 3-day stitch. I took this up to the group that met at the Crafty Grimalkin on Sunday, and of course I didn't get much done because I was too busy talking and having a good time. So there was that. But now I will take him apart and I think I'll figure out if I'm going to put it in a frame, but I have picked out some really cute gingham that will probably go on the back if this does go pillow land. I think that came from like the dollar store or the Dollar Tree. So that was handy. And I've got to put the threads away now. So that is my next to-do pile. Oh dear. There we go. Also, somebody was nice enough to leave me a comment about my card and suggested I keep it for decoration in one of my tiers. And I'm going to. Rather than upcycle this to a new card, at least I have that little sentiment inside that I know it went to my dad and I can keep this and remember that. And I'll probably keep that as a spring memento. So those are going to go in my collection, my boxes of stuff. Oh, I almost separated my chart. I didn't show you the last video, and I should have. Remember this little cutie? Ah. It was so easy to cut that magnet. So I simply just popped it face down, traced around it with pencil, I think. And then I just cut it out. It's very, very thin. This is a very thin magnet, but it's super strong. Those needles aren't going anywhere. And it really was a tuck-in. I didn't have to glue it. It was just a perfect floppy push it in fit. So it really is tight in there. I think it's just so cute. So this will come downstairs now and sit on my stitchy table next to my chair. I'm really thrilled with that. I've got to find some more boxes or tins now so I can make some more. And I don't know if I'll ever come across another Hello Kitty one, but that was a rare, fun find. I wanted to share with you, I got my order in from 1884. Have you guys shopped on that website? Does it even have the website? I think it's called 1884stitchery.com. It's a website that has a lot of $2 charts. Yeah, it's a dangerous place to go. I don't really understand what happened to this order. I placed this order on November 23rd, says my receipt. And for the longest time, I thought I ordered something. Did I ever get it? Did it end up in a pile? I really thought I was losing my marbles. I went down the rabbit hole. I got a chart that I found for $5. This is a Bent Creek called I Do. I think that's going to be a fun, cute, quick stitch. I think I need to kit that up for you know what. So that's going to go in my to-do pile. And then I found some really great fabric. And this was a $12 piece. And it is a 28 count Lugana. This is 18 by 12. It's a hand dyed. And I think I'm correct in my memory of this site. These are pieces from other people's stash that she sells. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. And then I have a 14 piece of 28 count Joblin hand dyed Lavender Sunset. I wonder if that's a 28 count Joblin that I stitched on. Maybe it is a 28 count. Lavender Sunset. Isn't this pretty? Now this has some green as well as lavender in it. It's just a great muted color. I really like it. I mean, it's massive. It folds again. So that's definitely going into my stash. I think I have a drawer just for 28 count Lugana and Joblin. And if I don't, I should be organized that way. I do like to store them in an open plastic Ziploc. And what I do is I'll put 2 in a bag with the tags facing so I can flip it quickly to see what it is. But this just keeps it grime free. So that was fun to place that order. I'll probably go down that rabbit hole again sometime soon. I found something at the dump that was really neat. Somebody made this adorable quilted bag with a snap closure. It's beautifully lined with another fabric. This is a gray. These are just little swirlies. And I thought, well, that's really nice. That's really clean. That's really cute. So I brought it home. Threw it in the laundry. It washed up beautifully. And I don't know why somebody tossed it into the dump house. But it's a great travel size for my Q-snaps. So now my Q-snaps have a suit coat. It's awfully cute. Somebody put a lot of work into this. And the stitching is perfect. So I don't know why it needed a home. I'm just glad I gave it a home. It's a nice thing to have. What else is in my bucket? Oh, something interesting. I placed an order through Temu, which is an online everything site. Now, I'm a little wary about ordering clothes and things from these out of the country websites. And I don't think I'm comfortable with that. But I am comfortable ordering some of the craft supplies that they have. And I can tell you that they are very good quality. I've ordered the little miniature embroidery hoops. You can get a set of 6 or 9 of those. The price was right. And I get a lot of my scissors, my embroidery and cutting scissors from Temu. And they have all kinds of styles. 96 cents, maybe $2.97. Super sharp. They all have cut well. I think out of probably 16 pairs that I've ordered, maybe one was not very impressive. So I went ahead and placed another order, and I got some new scissors. Let's open them up, shall we? Ooh, I didn't pay more than $5 for these. I hit something after Christmas called their Christmas clearance. It feels sharp. Do I have some thread to cut? I mean, I should have some thread to cut. They do come, I don't know if you can see on my hand, they're a little oily when they arrive to you, which is fine because that's what keeps them healthy. So I do wipe them down before I do use them. Let me pause this and grab a tissue. So I do just wipe it down so I can't see anything visible. And there's probably some oil in the hinge, which is fine. They don't squeak. Let's grab this. I grabbed a $2 bag of miscellaneous ribbons from Goodwill. But look at this cording. I thought that was pretty. So that was a bonus to get in there. And then I've got a green 1/4 inch ribbon, satin ribbon. There's a red in here. Let's get the red. It's coming unraveled. Yeah, they're used. But for $2, I got an assortment of 3, 4, 5, 6 different rolls. So the moment of truth here. Let's see how this cuts. Perfect. Absolutely beautiful. And I always try to order something slightly different. And of course they sit in my frog. So let's see what these are. Look at those. Aren't those pretty? These aren't as wet. I'm gonna wipe them down anyway. They're super sharp looking. I'm really good at piercing myself if I'm not careful. Oh, let's see, test this on something else. That seemed fine. Perfect. Woo. Very sharp. These aren't as comfortable, but they sure are flashy. I do like them. Can never have too many scissors. We're going to talk about why in a minute, because I wanted to talk about something. So let me get these ribbons away. I did make a trip up to, after the Stitch group on Sunday at the Crafty Grimalkin. It was really good to visit with people. I went to the Goodwill up there and got a bunch of stuff. So I'll show a couple of things throughout the video. Also in my Temu order, you can get a lot of different charms. So I got these for some possible Valentine stitches or ornaments I'm gonna do. And I just keep them in a little box. You can get craft dies or paper dies for pennies. So this one's a Christmas tree with a trunk and 2 different outlines. So I imagine, I can't recall, that one will be white, one will be green, so it looked like a snowy tree. And then this is a cardinal with berries. So I'm anxious to play with those. I haven't had problems with the dies. Sometimes you can get ones that are fussy or not very sharp, but these seem to be okay. I also found that they are a good source for frames with plexiglass. So the plexiglass you pop out of the frame and you just peel it off and it acts like glass. It's so lightweight. This frame, I can't remember how much it cost, but it was under $3. And it's a great size. I think this is a 5x5, which I think is a common one that I use for a lot of mill hills. It's 5.5 by 5.5. So I can mount either a ornament, mill hill ornament on here with some pretty background paper, or I can do a smaller stitch and mount that on a colored paper acting as a matte board or background color, which will be nice. So now that I've ordered one, I'm going to go back and see what other sizes they have. The crazy thing that I ordered on this website was a scroll frame. I don't need one, but maybe I do. Now, these are priced around $15 right now. I got it on an after Christmas clearance sale. So I think I paid $4.37 or $5.26, some crazy number for this. This is a very smooth, very well cared, sanded down beech wood almost. I wouldn't say it's oak because it's pretty light. And the scroll bars are in good condition. They have this type of Q-snap system that has a groove. So there's a groove in the bar. You have to put it together. It comes unassembled. And there's a groove in the Q-snap. Sorry for using the word Q-snap, but you know what I'm referring to. So that groove fits into the groove on the pole, and then you just snap it shut. So stay tuned. I'll use it and see what I think about it. It's a great shape. It's a good size. I wonder if they make smaller ones or if you can order smaller ones. I'm really excited about this, and the price was right. I am going to keep my eye open for any more clearance. Maybe I'll type in craft clearance next time. I use a third-party payee system, so I use a PayPal. I don't use my credit card. And I would advise anybody who's ordering stuff from out of the country or any website to not use your credit card. Use another payee that controls the money, like PayPal. So that was fun. Now I have to kit up something else for that. And it came with great instructions. So that was easy to assemble. Not that I didn't know how to assemble them. What else is in my bucket? I finally got, I was so relieved. It seemed like everybody in the world had their issue before I did. So spring 2024, I can't say it feels much thicker, but they are saying that they will be thicker and bigger. It still has a quick glance gallery on the last page, which is really handy. I don't think I'm going to go through every page in here because everybody's seen people's unveiling. But I do love this idea. Stitching up little motifs and attaching them to a pillow. And there's no reason why you can't just pick up a plain pillow somewhere and add the motifs this way. Because I thought that was a really cute finish for a pillow. And it's called Pieces of History in here. And then they have this really cool black work called Clover Black Work. And this will lead me into my next topic about scissors and finishes and how we stitch. Because when you're doing something like a block work particularly, or if you're working on something other than an Aida, don't we all have to be really careful about how we trail the thread in the back of our project so we don't have shadows of the back of our work showing through on the front. So if I was to be sloppy and finish off this line and just trail it, and there's a tail that's showing. Once you frame it, you'd see an outline of it. You'd see that shadow in the front. So somebody asked me recently, can you show the back of your work? And that is kind of like a touchy subject for a lot of people. I do know that there are some people who are obsessed with the back of their cross stitch. And I don't understand why, because we're not showing you the back of our work, we're showing you the front. And some people want the back to look as tidy as the front. And I'm not that way. But I am very particular about being very careful how I hide my little tails and how I carry my floss from section to section, particularly when I'm working on something other than Ada. With Ada, it just seems easier to hide, probably because the fabric is just a little, I don't want to say coarser, but it's got bigger fabric to hide your stitch in. So if you look at something like this that I did the outline first. And there's an awful lot of finite little stitches here. And if you look through the light, you don't see thread boogers, do you? Oh, you do here. Can you see it? So there's not many shadows showing through. When we look at the back of it, it's kind of tidy. I think I could do better. I didn't on purpose because I didn't think that we would be talking about this and I'd be showing you the back. But you see how I've snailed the stitch and there's a tiny piece sticking up here? That probably could have been better hidden and better clipped off. And down here it's a bit messy. And it looks like there's even some fuzz almost, where it became a little shredded. So this is where scissors and needles really come into play when you're stitching. We all have our favorite thread scissors that we keep next to our table side that we use all the time. But there is an argument to have something with extremely pointy edges or pointy tip, so you can really get in there, be able to lift up that thread piece and snip it even closer to hide where you've trailed it. So I can see another piece. And I know personally that I have trailed the end of this in at least six different other stitches, because I tend to travel quite a bit, unless I'm playing thread chicken, and then I'm probably I'm probably gonna get stuck. But this, you can see, has been trailed almost a full inch. There's a thread booger I just cut. So I do go onto the back of my cross stitch before I frame it particularly, and I look for, I call them thread boogers, that might be sticking out or showing through, or little fuzzies that might have come loose. And when you are trailing from one area to another, let's see, here is a place where it traveled, and I don't know why. I must have come up here or come that way and wanted to travel up here, and instead of following a line, I traveled it. So this corner I cut. Now that is here. You can see an ever slight shadow. I think with the rest of the stitch in here, your eye won't travel to that, and when I do frame it, it won't show. But it's particularly evident if you're not going to go catty corner. You need to go in a different direction other than straight across. Because if I travel straight across on the back of my stitch, how am I going to do this? I need a piece of thread. Let's open up one of my threads. Boop. If you're traveling straight across from one point to another point, you're traveling along a line. Those lines are holes that are going to be seen in the front. If you can travel above it, then you're hiding it, because you are going in a different, you're going at an angle to the actual square. Does this make sense? I think it does. Just as in the front of your stitch, if you want to go from this stem to start a stem over here, you don't want to travel along the back in a straight line, even if you are counting. It's not going to show up, is it? If you did that in a straight line in the back, more than likely it would show through the holes. But if you did it at a slight skew or a slight angle, you're actually hiding by skipping the holes, and it's not being seen. And it's always best when you're traveling in the back to don't travel more than 3 or 4 holes. Just as when you're working with linen, it's really best to stop and start. It's harder to count that way, but when I tell people who are starting on linen for the first time, it's not like Ada where you can just count over 20 squares, no problem, let's start. It's harder to see when you're doing that on linen. So it's best not to travel on linen, particularly for new people. It's best to just stitch along as you go rather than stop and start another section, because they may not meet up. It's very hard, particularly if you're doing over 2. So it's always best to stitch where your last stop point was. To help my starts and stops, I do use a loop method. And the loop method is simply folding over one piece of thread. So I have one piece of thread. I'm folding it over so the 2 ends meet, and now I have a loop at the bottom. These 2 ends I'm going to put in the needle. At least I think I'm going to. So when you come down the fabric, when you come up the back of the fabric and go down, you catch the loop and you go through the loop in order to make your first stitch. It's held on. There is no tacking it down that way. So the loop method is a beautiful way to stitch. And it's the best way to hide your stitches. I know, get the needle out of my mouth. I hear you. I can hear you guys saying it. Boop. It's a bad habit. I said I wasn't going to do it this year. I'm going to show you on this cross stitch. Much longer thread here. Okay, so I have these 2 ends. This is one strand that I folded over. So this is my loop at the bottom. I'm simply going to come up through the bottom to start my first stitch. I'm not going to pull it all the way through because I don't want that to come through. I'm going to go down to make my first stitch. And as I'm pulling through, I'm going to catch the loop with the needle. I've caught it. I'm in the loop and I'm pulling it, and my first stitch is done. It's held to the back of the cloth, and now I can just keep stitching. That's a very tidy way of having a first stitch. That's how this is possible with a loop stitch method. And then if you're having trouble hiding or fishing your finish through your existing back stitches, you need a sharper needle. So that's why I keep a whole bunch of needles next to me, because sometimes it's a struggle, but the sharper your needle, the better you are at fishing it through existing stitches. And I do pay attention, or try to pay attention, to which way, ooh, that was easy to pull out, to which way those stitches are going to end. Trying to go straight up the middle, or trying to go off to the side at a corner, so then it's a hidden stitch. So that's how my backs are tidy. Sometimes they're not, sometimes they are. I hope that helps. Somebody was asking how do I do it? Well, that's how I do it. And there are probably a lot of other methods out there, but that's my preference. And I'm just mindful of when I'm starting and where I'm starting and stopping. So I always tell people, read your charts before you start stitching. You need to study, okay, well, this looks like an easy point to start from. I always start from the center, but I pick the largest area that's going to house and hold those stitches for me to jump off in other directions for the next section of stitch. I won't start with confetti stitching in the middle. I thought I had a hole in this, but it doesn't look like it. And for those of you who don't know, confetti stitching is just little stitches all over the place, random, like throwing confetti. I don't like those. This is not going to cooperate. This is a very dull needle. This is one that came in a kit. I'm just going to stick it to a magnet somewhere and be done. Ugh, I'm so dry today, despite all the ice. All right, what else was in my basket of goodies? Oh, stuff I got at Goodwill. In my bucket. So this was a cute find. It's in perfect shape. It's got a to from tag that nobody's used. It was $3. It's a magnet close and Velcro. I picked up some great, I can't have that on me. I found cards and cardstock. Well, cards and envelopes. So I've got 2 sets. And these were $1 each. Maybe they were full price. Was it green? I don't recall. Anyway, 12 folded textured cards. So they're not embossed, they just are slightly lined. And then 12 envelopes. I haven't bothered to count to see if they're all in there. I'm pretty sure they are. Great for Valentine's or great for Christmas. So these are going in my stash. They're really nice. Regular price is $3.49 for the cards and $2.99 for the envelopes. So that was a good deal. I'll put those there. I found another spool for spools, but it's ugly. I don't know what this is supposed to be. Is this somebody's idea of aging it? It's really bad. But I think if she paints the top and the bottom and covers this with the cross stitch, it'll be okay. This was only $2. It was from Home Goods. I'd like to peel off the sticker and see what it was regularly. And I wonder if somebody actually bought it for that. Oh, careful, careful, I want to know. Compare at $10. Our price, five something. I think it says $5.99. It's hideous, but she can make a nice little stitch on that. I'm sorry to disappoint, but I went to the Crafty Grimelkin and I didn't get any charts or fabric. I have to be careful. I'm going up again, probably in the next 2 weeks. Anyway, I got what I needed. And I needed thread, I needed beads, I needed thread, I needed beads, and she had them. So I got some great things off my list. And I wrote these things down very carefully in my little cross stitch app. And I didn't write down what they were for. So for some reason it said I needed 3 skeins of 3801 and I needed 3 skeins of 919. I don't know for what. I don't even recognize these colors. So next time I make a shopping list, I will write down what I need and what it's for. Because now, with this pile of stuff around me, I don't know how I'm supposed to match it up. But I feel very accomplished for getting these. I guess that's something to be happy about. And the same thing happened with these Weeks Dye Works. She had 4 of the 5 that I needed. I don't know what they're for, but I'm very happy I got them. So I have linen, palomino, Oscar, and charcoal. I will find what they were for. Same thing for the Mill Hill beads. I got some great Mill Hills. No idea why I needed them. So unfortunately, those are things that are going to live on top of my desk until I figure out, maybe it was something in my wanna do that I pulled out for a smaller wanna do pile. I don't know. It'll come to me. I also got this really cool needle minder on a business card, which I think is so cool. Now, while I was there, I was wearing it, so I should probably put it on again. I think that's great. Little kitty cat. And I should keep the card because I think it's handy. So that's the Crafty Grimelkin. And she's at 168 Center Street. It was such a fun shop. And I did touch the fabric and I did hold one. And I walked around with it for a little bit, burping it. I wanted to buy it. I wanted to bring it home, but I put it back. I purposely did not bring my charts up to pair things, and I purposely did not look at the charts because I knew there would be about 40 that I needed, and I knew I'd be back. So I've got to spread myself out, go every couple of weeks and shop here, shop there, shop there. It was just great. Absolutely great. What a fun time. The other thing I got at Goodwill was silly. I got 2 of these ceramic, brand new tea mugs, Spode. They were half price, and I thought, wow, these are great. We'll see. So I got them for $7 each. What's so wonderful is on the bottom it says they're regularly $30. Who pays that? Not me. I also got a lot of fun mail I wanted to share with you. My sister sent me a collection of stickers. And there's a website that she's been buying these off of. Please leave me and my coping mechanisms alone. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there. They're eating gummy worms, I think playing with their phone, and there's something in the basket. But I think that's a cute sticker. That'll probably go on my crafting diary. Get and loser, we're ignoring all of your problems, all of our problems, and we're going to a thrift store. That should probably go on my dashboard. And then this one was so me. I'm going home to make arts and crafts. There's no cross stitch because I think that's embroidery in the hoop, but it's really cute. So that was really fun to get. I'm putting together a little box for her, but I need to get it in the mail probably in the next week or so. Also some more fun mail. This was a lot of fun. My friend Judy sent way too much diamond dot ornaments, which I really didn't know about until recently. And I've wanted to play with them, but I've got lots of projects, and I thought, maybe if I come across them in a store. She buys these off of places like Amazon. I made this one yesterday. The box came yesterday. I sat down right away and made one. But what a cute Valentine's ornament. So this will be great on my tree. Lots of bling. It's an acrylic piece. I put on the back, kit from Judy, and I put my name and year that I did it. It's an acrylic piece. You peel off the cover that's on it, and it's sticky. So that's what you are able to stick the little gems on with. And they're on there. They're not coming off. I don't know how to store these now. Maybe that sticky stuff dries. I'm just worried about dust collecting on it, so I have to ask her if they get dusty or how I should store them. You want to see how many she sent? I need some help doing these. Everything I need. Little kitty cats and mugs. Is that all Christmas? No, they're not all Christmas. One's a little flower kitty. These are so much fun and so rewarding to do. And it's a quick little fix. More Valentines. There's a little car and some hearts. Summer ones, little lemonade, pitcher of lemonade, a crate of lemons. Easter, flowers, patriotic, Halloween. I think there's a spider in there. There's a witch's hat. I don't know what else is in there. There's so much to go through. I didn't know where to start. And yesterday was Wolf Wednesday. Little snow globes. They're all different scenes. One's a little gingerbread house. There's house in the snow. Snowmen. So if you want to start some diamond dots, but you don't want to do a massive one, get an ornament kit. These are great. I can't wait to do some more. And now that I'm getting out the Easter, the Valentines, and the St. Patty's Day, I'm going to go through that and do those quickly so I can get them hung up, because that is just too cute. And lots of sparkle. I love it. All that Diamond Dots is putting a little wax on the tip. You put a little wax on the tip. This is actually a little tube. And you put a little bit of wax on that. I don't have it handy. Yeah. After the wax is there, you tap it on top of the dot, on top of the colored part. It holds it in place because it's all waxy. And then you boop, pop it into the sticky part on your ornament. And it holds. I've done one full coverage and one partial. And it's like puzzles for me. I really shouldn't do them because if I do a puzzle, I will not stop until the puzzle's done. And I will get a crick in my neck. I'll probably get a bladder infection because I'll just sit there and do it and do it. I get obsessed with it. I don't know why I don't do that with cross stitch. But with puzzles and with the diamond dots, I have one more line, one more line, one more line. So I don't think it's a healthy thing for me to do, but the small ornaments are a lot of fun. They're fast, it's rewarding. I'm definitely gonna do more ornaments. So thank you, Judy. That was fun to get. I wanna go through some of my other stuff in my Easter. These are some of my ornaments for the Valentines. I think it's just Valentines in here. I don't have a lot of cross-stitched ornaments. That's what I want to concentrate on. Now, I do remember I made these from scrap. So that is a scrap piece of linen and tucked inside and stitched into 2 pieces of printed felt. So these were scrap pieces of felt. Very small. What do I do with them? Make it into an ornament. So that's what I did. So I have a cute little, it almost looks like a Valentine's hanging on my tree with a nice little piece of linen. Maybe I should have stitched a little heart on the linen next time. I do have a very cute tiny pillow with some chenille edge to it. I did that last year. And that's more that printed felt. And I just stitched SK23 on it. And I used monofilament to hang it. And I can actually hide that and stick it in a tier if I wanted to. Then I did some felted ornaments by using a die cutter. So this is just a die with a scalloped edge heart, and you'd run it through a machine. It cuts paper usually. I've discovered it cuts felt too. So I cut some pre-decorated felt. This has little gold, it's white felt with gold dots on it. So I did 2 large ones, 1 white, 1 solid red, and then I did 1 of each of the white and the red in the next size lower. Stitch them together, and then you've got a very cute little ornament. Same thing. Slightly different. Same. These are plastic canvas. I probably picked up these shapes at a Goodwill. And they have a tiny little hanging area so I can hang them from someplace. I found these cute little things, maybe at a dollar store. And I guess you would hide candies in them like you would plastic eggs. But I actually just hang them up on the tree. What else is in here? Oh, there's an Easter thing in here. Here is a blown glass egg that I put on my Easter tree. It says large yellow egg. This was a Christmas tree shop, and I think I found it at a Goodwill somewhere. I know I didn't get it at the Christmas tree shop, or I would have gotten more colors. You can tell this is a tight fit. I probably need to buy a bigger container. These were little wooden cutouts that I probably got on clearance. And I just painted a little glittery. One side's non and one side's glittery. So I've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 of these. I painted them all the same so I can hang them up on my chandelier in the kitchen or dining room. I can decorate door handles, cabinets. That was fun. But there's nothing in here for cross stitch except for that little pillow. I gotta get busy. It's a good thing I have something to do. Always something to do. All right, let me get this one off and see what's in the next bucket. I haven't been through these buckets in a year. Oh, I didn't get out my Easter bucket. So this is called Easter, Spring, and Valentines. I just found a little I love you heart that my husband signed. I have to be careful not to lose that. Now, I did show this in a previous video. I remember this because I stitched this last year. Yep. This is called Piece of My Heart. It's by Lola Crow, and I found this on Etsy. I did it on a 16 count black Aida, and I did it in 2023. Boy, that glare is bad. There we go. But isn't that wild? I had to do it because I thought it was really cool. It was not as easy as I thought it would be because it's certain colors here and then it kind of disappears. So you have to wait to stitch the next one. Now the back of this is probably not as tidy as a white because it's black fabric, so it's easier to hide your stitches. And I didn't sign the front on purpose because there's so much going on that I didn't want to distract from it. My dad would have appreciated this. He was a computer scientist. That was one of his degrees. So he would have thought that was very cool. All right, what else is in this bucket? I got a really cool box. 'Tis a bit of Blarney. Nice box. What else is in here? Oh, this looks like two together. Oh, this is cute. Oh, wow, this is a really thick frame so it can stand up by itself. This is called Orchard Intrigue from a February 2015 issue of Just Cross Stitch. I did it on a 28 count Zweigart. It's called Mulberry. I did it over 2, and I stitched it in February of 2020, and I framed it in May of 2020. And not too bad of a glare. I love that color fabric. I'm pretty sure I have some more. I don't remember where I put it. I'm not partial to pink, but mulberries, wine, darker mauves, very pretty. And I really love how that came out. And I'm sure this was a used frame. It looks like it because I've got my little backing points. These are my points that I added with my little, whatever it's called. But that's really cool. Can't wait to put that out. That'll go out by the TV, I think, so I can see it. Where am I going to pile these up? Ugh. I love this one. It's kind of like Christmas when you're unboxing your stuff you haven't seen in a year. I showed you guys this, I'm sure I did. This is called Rabbits, Carrots, and Eggs, and this is by Stitchy Princess on Etsy. I did it on a 14 count Zweigart, maybe a dusty blue, and I did substitute some threads, and I stitched it from February 27th, 23 to March 5th. Isn't that cute? It's definitely a used frame because it's seen better days. But I don't care. I love the detail on it. And I think it's perfect for this stitch. The only problem is the back of it. I've tried to tape it in there. It's not happy. This is not masking tape. This is medical tape. I think I need to use that stuff I showed you guys last week. Ugh. Remember this? I have to put this away. I got this at another Goodwill, but this I think is the framer's tape that I need to properly put this in. It just seems a little too floppy in the back. I did put a hanger on it so I can put it on the wall. But I just love that stitch. She's got so many great patterns, you guys. That Stitchy Princess on Etsy, they're just fun to do. Okay, what else have I got? I've got this random thread now. Get rid of it. I save all this packaging that I can because it costs money to protect things that might be clinking. Oh, that's what it goes to. Where's the little I love you? It must go in there. This was a card that my husband gave me. I'm afraid to fold it up, so I keep it this way. But I do need to figure out how to not lose my little I love you. That goes out every Valentine now. Oh, and this was a really cool heart box of candy. But it was just so nicely done that I keep it out. You can use it in a tier. You can use it as a decoration now. You can use it as a hint. Oh, it's empty. What's in here? Oh, this one's cute. Good eggs. Not behind glass. No glare. Oh, whew. But I do love it. And I do remember that this frame and this mat came from a frame shop. It was some sort of clearance, and it was meant to be. It fits perfectly, and it just is the right everything to frame this. If I remember, this is a Bent Creek, and that's about as far as I can go from memory. I did it in 2021. It is signed. And a cute little bird button. It's just lovely. I probably should have done those tiny little white flowers with little white seed beads. It's an afterthought. Let me put this in its pillowcase so it doesn't get banged up. Let's see what else is in my bucket. Ah, this is cute. Unknown stitch. It looks like it's on a pink or peachy Ada. And what I did was, if you look at this thread or the ribbon, this is a ribbon that I got from an army surplus store, believe it or not. They had ribbon that was used for uniforms. So this is probably a massive spool that I have somewhere. And I used it to wrap the hoop because I didn't want to paint the hoop. And once I started wrapping, I couldn't stop. It was a long process to wrap the hoop. I didn't glue it down or anything. But once I finished it, I just loved the texture and the finish of it. Now, I did this in 2019. I did put a piece of acid-free cardstock on the back that kind of matches the fabric to hide any type of things that might be showing through. But I did hide the threads pretty well on the back of this one. And I just hang it from a cabinet door or a doorknob. And I used an extra fat, wide ribbon. It's a cute way to finish some quick things. I should do some more hoop stuff. I have such a pile, you guys, of stuff that I need to fully finish. And sometimes I'd rather just talk to you guys than finish something off. But I do need to go through this pile again with you, and maybe you can tell me which one to frame first. Wow, this is cute. I kept it in the box. I don't want to open it. How did I put it in the box? Ah, here we go. That's a cute little sampler. And if I remember, this was a free sampler I got when I bought some Weeks Dye Works. I'm trying to remember. Maybe it says on the back. Nope. No such luck. Cute little frame. So this was done in 2020. And I think that was a new Weeks, might be a new Classic Colorworks. But what was it called? It was like sea colors. It was a set of 3. Don't recall now. But I just like it. And it's a real spring stitch to me. So that'll go out probably next month. Nice frame. I wonder where I got the frame. If I do end up getting a frame with a box, this is the best way to protect it. And I can just throw it in the crate. What else is in here? Oh, this is cute. This is bad. Oh, it is signed. There's no backing on it, no way to really hang it. I did this in 22. Oh, I need my board. Isn't that cute? That's just a little outline of a bunny. I don't know where the pattern came from. And I did it on it looks like a 28 Joblin. And I just like the purple and purple. Nothing's on the back. You see how this is at an angle? Let's see, where is that? That's there. So on the front, you can see it when there's light coming through. It's right here. But if I were to put a darker purple backing on this, you wouldn't see it. And there are a couple of little floss boogers that I haven't trimmed off that you can see with the light. But if I did a dark purple background or backing, it wouldn't show through. I didn't bother to trim this up, probably because this was just a get it done, frame it up. And I think I probably put this in a, what do you call those? The plate holder. It's probably standing up on a shelf with a plate holder. Oh, and this is cute. This was done in 2021. I do know this is from a Just Cross Stitch. And this is a overly decorated 2 pieces of mat board, covered in fabric, decorated with buttons. The cross stitch is mounted to a foam board, and then a ribbon was put around the foam board, brown ribbon with gold trim, not glued, just put in with pins. And then I glued that down to a piece of lace ribbon that I shaped to be square. And I used some scrap brown ribbon. I think it's cute. It was a lot to finish off a little stitch, but it's a little stitch that I've made bigger. And I don't think it was calling for this heart. Maybe there was a stitched heart underneath it. Yes, there's a stitched heart, but I had a little heart button that matched perfectly, and I thought, well, that's cute. Let's do that. That's a sweet little stitch. I think I'll do some more of these. Maybe smaller to go on the tree. Oh, another cool card. So this is a card that my husband gave me in 22. It's a Hallmark, but it's wood. And it's, I guess, one of these laser wood cuts. I think it's really pretty. So I use this as a decor piece. It's just beautiful. Oh, what's this? This is big. Oh, yay! I know you guys have seen this. This was done in 22. Ooh, that frame has some issues. That's okay. Isn't that cute? So I signed and dated it, but that's all I have. Hopefully I'll come across the pattern and put it on the back, because there's nothing on the back. And this is a free floater. It's just put underneath the glass. I haven't stitched it down. I haven't glued it down. I didn't use anything fancy. I just cut it and put it in the frame. And I do remember I changed the color of the sheep's wool because it wasn't showing up very well, and I wanted to do it on a white instead of like a blue or a pink or something. But that was fun, and I love the little bird riding on the back of them. So maybe I'll come across this in my, do I have an Easter binder? No, I don't think I do. Something else to make. But wait, there's more. This says Easter Stitch Round Store Flat. So this is like a cigar box, but it says liqueur chocolates. This must have been my dad's. And it's got a really cute little hinge on it. Oh, there's a couple things in here. But they're great to store your little hooped designs in. Uh-oh, why are they sticking together? Sorry about that. This is on the tip of my tongue. Isn't that cute? JBW Designs. Whew. Now I think she did hers all in pink. And I wanted blueberries. And I wanted brown bunnies. So I changed it up a bit. I want to say it's called Bunnies in the Round, but I'm not sure. But it is a JBW design. And I put the pom-pom. I stained a hoop and I put a pom-pom edging to it. And I used a blue card background. And I think I double layered it because I think there's a white background underneath this. And then I just used a pretty wide ribbon to decorate it. I just love this. And I didn't sign the front. I just put my initials and the year 2020 on the back. But oh my gosh, is it cute. Oh, this one was fun. Now this, I think, was from a magazine. Don't quote me on it. I had to find out. This was 2021. And instead of stitching their little bums, I put little cotton balls on their bums for their tails. I painted a hoop with a metallic or sparkly green, and then I used just the pom-pom edging. I glued it to the back so it would just peek around the front. I put a green, this is badly glued, it's all warped, a green cardstock on the back. And then I used two different types of spring colored ribbon that I had in a, you can see the basket up here in the corner. up in that corner, that houses all my scrap ribbons, and I pull that out and see what I have in there instead of pulling from a spool. But that was a really cute stitch. I'm pretty sure that came from a just cross stitch issue. Maybe I'll come across it and write it on the back. I don't think these were sticking. I think there's a rough edge on it. But this is really great to store these in. Because I can lay the ribbon just right. No problems. Well, that's it for the story time bucket. It gets me motivated to want to start looking up some Valentines and spring stitches. Now, I did go through the just cross stitch, and there are a couple little motifs in there that I might do. These weren't exciting to me, but individually they might be cute hanging up as ornaments. There were some butterflies in here, but really there were just some bigger ones that I'm more interested in doing. And I really need to find some ornaments. So I'm not quite sure what I'll do for ornaments this year. Nothing's popping out at me. I really like this bunny. Wasn't she cute? And I don't think I'd do her as a pillow because it would just get hairy and meshed up. I don't know, I have to do some thinking. There's some cute things in here. But I don't think this has any Valentines and Easter that jump out at me for my trees. But I'm not for want. I've got other things to do. I still have all of my Christmas ornaments to get squirreled away into the attic. And it's not really the weather to go into the attic without a coat. So I'm not doing that right now. And I'm still stitching other things. So I'm working on my flea market flowers. I'm doing Wolf Wednesdays. I'm going to be starting Turkey Tuesdays. I'm doing flea market Fridays for my flea market flowers. And I think I'm going to kit up the Astor Place. If I can find a smaller scroll, that'll be my next kit up. And this will be my next kit up. Oops. Boy, that's a glare. There we go. Oh, Christmas tree. Looks like that pile's gonna fall. And this is All Through the Night. It's a folk art design by Bonnie Sullivan. It's just really pretty. I have picked out collards, Weeks Dye Work collards to do this. I'm gonna pick a brighter fabric so this variegated collards is gonna really pop. Hopefully I have enough. This was done on a 30 count linen. I don't know what I'm gonna pick to do that, but that's sitting on the pile of things to do. So that's about what I have for now. I'm going to pause this, see how much is on video, and then figure out if I'm going to show you more or if I'm gonna actually do some de-decorating and some more stitching. So I will sign off and figure that out. So have a great day, happy stitching, and be safe.